You're making strides each and every week, coming off of a road win, not just a road win, but a road sweep over the weekend as you take one of the two games in South Dakota and you're 1-2 in the last couple of games, but you put together the 3-game winning streak at home. You got a good thing going.
Yeah, we're having fun. I think we finally settled into our rhythm. The girls all trust each other. And they've just been having fun. I think when we look at them playing volleyball, they're not really stressed out. The games we're winning, they're having fun, trusting each other, and doing everything that we've worked on since August.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've also talked to me about changing things around, moving some pieces from the front row to the back and vice versa. What went into that thought? And it seems like whatever you did has been working immensely.
Yeah, we were kind of looking at our lineup after I think one of the games we lost to Adams State, and we were like, we need to make a change. And so we looked at our girls that we have and tried to put them in places where they'd all succeed. And right now we have good girls on the court in roles that like Meg's in a different role than she usually is in, but she's kind of stepped into that role well. And I think our girls all are just accepting the role that they have and doing the best that they can for the team.
And when you say Meg, you're talking Meg Fannerstill, who has 91 kills, and she was among the kill leaders until you moved to the back. But she's been very effective both digging and setting, has she not?
Yeah, Meg stepped into that role well. I told her, I was like, hey, we're going to switch things around. I need you to kind of not be a DS, but she's acting as a DS, I guess, but we'll use her as an option in the back row for hitting. But we still have her doing serve receive defense. And she's a great serve too, so she's really done well in that role.
And Ariana, you've got 188 kills. You're first on the team. Aziza Morris with 182. But it seems like your play has picked up a lot too. And you've always been into the team aspect, but what's been the biggest turnaround for you this year?
Um, I think for me, it's just I've gotten to step into a complete different role. I came from a very different program, ran in a very different way, but I think it fully prepared me for the role I have on this team. And I think that the turnaround for me is really just that I'm like very comfortable in my role, and I think I'm really comfortable with who I'm playing with. I think our communication is super well, and when things aren't going well, we're working through it a lot faster than we were before. So I think that's been the key for me.
What would you say your biggest role is and has been?
Um, I would say being a leader, but not necessarily like in the way of like statistics and things like that, but just offering guidance. Like the girls are really comfortable with me. Everyone can kind of confide in me. And so, especially when it comes to like resolving issues, we do that really fast. We don't have many of them. I mean, I'm able to kind of use my experience to help guide. We communicate a lot between each other for feedback because there's only two coaches and there's about 17 of us. So it's really important that we help guide each other. So I think that the experience I have has helped me with that as well.
Meg Rosa, head coach, Ariana Jamerson, one of the hitters for New Mexico Highlands women's volleyball team, our guest here on the Steve Davis Show. And one of the things that I always notice about you, you've got a smile on your face. When the game is on, you don't have the smile, but you keep your teammates loose at all times, don't you?
I mean, I try.
Yeah, you
Try.
try, yes.
I feel like
Well,
I smile a lot. It's really hard for me to smile when I do things well. I celebrate others a lot better than I celebrate myself.
that
So
is, that's very true. And there's been a lot of smiling going on lately. When, as you as a player, did you feel that you guys were turning things around?
Mm, I mean, honestly, I felt like it's turned around since the start of this season. I think that the way we started is completely different than where we started last year. I think that as far as our record and when we were turning around, I think when everybody took on the challenge of having a new rotation in the middle of the season and did it with grace, and it was like everyone was super willing to work through anything in that moment. I think just the way that situation was handled is when I knew it would turn around because there wasn't any complaining, anyone questioning why they were in said position. We were all just ready to go because that's what we were told would be best for the team, and it's proven to be such. So
So you had a 6-match losing streak, and then you come back and you win 3 against Fort Lewis, Regis, and Chadron State. You play a close match at Eastern New Mexico on a rare Monday a week ago, and then you lose in 3 sets to South Dakota Mines, and then come back and win in 3 sets against Black Hills State. So even in the losses, you've been competitive, correct?
yeah, I think it's been super competitive. I don't think there's been a single game where I feel like we've been beaten and didn't beat ourselves. I think that when we are losing, it's things we know we're fully in our control. I don't think that there's a gap in competition between us and other teams in the RMAC like there has been before. I think that there's just sometimes we lose focus of the small details, and that's what it comes down to in this conference because it is a competitive conference and all the teams are pretty much neck and neck. And at this level, it's not really about talent, it's about strategy and all those other small things.
So, Meg, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Ari. I think we were in that 6-game losing streak, but we kind of reset the week we were at home. We were excited that we were at home to have it was 3 in a row at home that were winnable games. And that was like our focus. Like if we control our side of the net, been our big focus since the beginning of the year, controlling what we do. And we'll make adjustments in game for other teams. That's been our focus, focusing on what we can control and what we do well. Because when we play good volleyball, it's been proven that we're beating people that we really haven't beat in years past.
So the other day in the win against Black Hills State, you had one player, Jaylee Gonzalez, with 10 kills, and 3 players, 2 with 9, Ariana being one of those, and Elise Fort with 8. So one of the things that we've always talked about, Coach Gross, is the fact that you have hitters this year where hitting was a little, a miss because he didn't have the right pieces. Now you do.
Yeah, we have great hitters, and I spend a lot of time with our setters telling them to spread our offense. Like, we could set Ari every ball, and Ari probably get kills 9 times out of 10, but it's really nice that we can go to Ari, switch it up, go to Aziza Morris, use our middles more, use Jaylee over there. And then we've challenged both of our setters, Marissa and Nye, with, like, getting their own kills and dumping and going ahead and getting their own kills, and they've taken that role on really well. Setters love to get kills.
And you talk about Ari. One of the things, Ari, have you seen the confidence build? Because Aziza Morris, she seems like she's playing with a lot more confidence, and that's something that she really, in my opinion, hasn't lacked, but it seems like she has a little more now.
I think all of us hitters do. I think it kind of first comes from our defense and the way we've been working on coverage. And I swing sometimes knowing I probably will get blocked, but I'll still swing because I know
right
under me. And so I think we have confidence in each other. And I also know, like, I can swing and play more carefree because if I am not able to do my job, there's a lot of depth now and things we can do to where someone can. So I think that we have confidence in ourselves, but also confidence in each other. Like, if I'm not going to have a good day today, it's not going to be the end of the world because there's someone else who can do it as well and step in so you can get a mental break. So I think it's honestly, yes, we have like a lot more confidence in ourselves. And I think Z especially is very good at maintaining her confidence in herself, and that doesn't fluctuate. I think she's one of the best at doing that. But I can say for all of us hitters across the board, it comes from each other, really.
Meg Rose, the head coach at New Mexico Highlands for the women's volleyball team. Ariana Jamerson here on the Steve Davis Show. More coming up next.
We would like to thank the following sponsors. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle. I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
And we are back here on the Steve Davis Show. I'm Scott Colletti, filling in for Steve Davis, talking New Mexico Highlands women's volleyball as they are coming off of a big sweep on the road against Black Hills State, and that was a big win. And they have been playing very well, and they've got a couple of home matches, which we will talk about later in the show. But we have Meg Gross, the head coach, and we have Ariana Jamerson. And Ariana, first I want to talk to you. You were talking about your former school, that is the University of New Mexico. You're also from Visu Cleveland High School, here nearby from Albuquerque in Rio Rancho. So talk about being the local product, moving your way up the food chain.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I think being able to play at home that close to family for 4 years after high school is really cool. I mean, Cleveland in itself is a huge community. Rio Rancho only has 2 high schools, so there's a lot of support in that area. But being in Albuquerque near home and being able to play in front of my family, but also a lot of the same community I'd been playing in front of. A lot of the girls that were still in high school would come to games and things like that. And then I moved up here to northern New Mexico, which is also close to family I have, so that's been nice as well. I think that it's definitely quality over quantity. I think the quality of the interactions I have here are a lot different than when I was at UNM. We would try to be as involved in our community as we could there. It just looked a lot different than it does here because it's a lot bigger of a community there. But
right.
I think that I've built a lot of withstanding relationships when I leave here in the shorter amount of time than I have there. So that's
cool. Very, very cool. And go back to your high school career. You played at a really good high school for volleyball, and you had a lot of success, didn't you?
I did. I played for Brian Ainsworth for 3 years, and then they got a new coach my senior year, which was COVID, so that was an iffier season. But I learned a ton. I was actually playing soccer, and that's what I was fully convinced I would play in college until I got to high school volleyball at that school. And it wasn't until I was 16 that I chose to fully integrate myself into volleyball and leave soccer alone. And that school was a huge part of that. I learned a majority of what I know there, and I credit that place for getting me to where I am now, because I would not have made that choice if I'd not gone to that high school, to be quite honest.
And Cleveland was a good soccer school also. So at what level did you play soccer, and what got you into soccer? And had you thought about volleyball before when you were playing soccer?
I played soccer starting when I was 4, and so that was like club soccer all the way through. Volleyball and soccer in the same season, so I had to pick one for high school. So I chose to play high school volleyball and club soccer my freshman year in that spring. And then after that, it was pretty clear I had to make a choice. It wasn't a sustainable thing if I wanted to play volleyball in college. I love soccer. It was just something my mom put me in when I was really little. I think that's kind of a canon event for a lot of girls in New Mexico, to be quite honest. And I loved it for a long time. My sister actually played soccer at Cleveland. She got a state championship. Actually, both of my siblings at Cleveland got rings, and I didn't somehow, which is really rude in my opinion. But my sister is playing soccer at Fort Lewis now, so she'd be able to tell you more about soccer than I could at that school. But yeah.
What position did you play?
I was a wing and a forward at times.
Nice. I can see you putting the ball in the net.
Yeah, I was just really good with both feet. I was ambidextrous with my feet somehow. So that's why I played a lot on the wing and mostly on the left.
So Coach Gross, what went into the process of you getting her from the University of New Mexico?
Yeah, I remember it vividly. I was sitting at a graduation party and Ari texted me, and I work camps at UNM, and I was like, no way, like this is actually Ariana from UNM who wants to come play volleyball here. And then it was that summer we just kind of like, she came on a visit, met a handful of the girls who were in town over the summer, and it just kind of worked out. And her cousin Olivia's on our team, so I think Olivia played a big part in that, them being able to play together and have 2 years in college together. But it really worked out well. I remember it vividly. I was at a graduation party. I was like, this can't be for real that Ari's texting wants to come play volleyball at New Mexico Highland. But here we are now, and we're really lucky that we do have her.
What is the biggest thing that you like about Las Vegas, Ari?
I love mountains, first of all, so being up here is nice. I love how small it is. Like I said, just the quality of interactions I have here and how involved people are just in the town and how invested they are in this school is so nice to see. I love that all the sports talk to each other and like have actual relationships and friendships, not like, oh yeah, we know this team, we know that team. It's like, no, we know people on every team and like we all genuinely care for each other. I think just that's what this place has shown me the most, how much they care about this place, and it makes you want to care about this place just as much.
You just brought up something I'm going to ask you about, the students being involved from other sports, because volleyball is probably the biggest sport, arguably, where everybody from other sports is able to come to a lot of matches, and you'll get the student section, you'll get other sections, and you'll get them just yelling, and it has to really help you, doesn't it? Because it really gets loud in there, and I get excited doing the matches, so it's really cool.
Yeah, we definitely fill the student section's absence when we're on the road. Actually, I got a text about that while we were on the road, and they said, you need us, and I was like, yeah, we need a spirit bus or something over here. We need a spirit bus. But yeah, I think it's super cool. I give a lot of that credit to the coaches and staff here, honestly. I think that they all make sure, like, hey, we're going to go to this game. It'll literally be on our schedule in the spring, like, these are the basketball games, you got to be there. And it's nice because it's something we want to do, but also it's something that our coaches make sure we have and that we're all supporting each other. And even Dustin, our athletic trainer, told baseball they better be at our game and be loud this time because he was disappointed in how quiet they were the game before. So.
And normally baseball is very, very boisterous. So, I mean, that's the thing. 9 times out of 10, when the students show up, they make a lot of noise. They're not quiet. And I love it in between timeouts and everything. They'll start chants and all that stuff. It's really cool.
With their own cheers, it's getting really creative.
What are your thoughts, Coach?
No, they've been awesome so far this year. And Scott, our athletic director, we had a head coaches meeting yesterday, and he makes a point to tell us every week in our meetings who's home, if we're free, send our teams. And I think it starts with his leadership, and coaches go to games and our players go to games, like Ari said. And it's super fun to see them at games getting rowdy. Our Shadra game, I think they were pretty crazy. We were like, holy cow, I've never seen a gym like this for volleyball, but it works out and it's fun. Yeah, the student section's been awesome. I think it starts with Scott's leadership because he has us go to games and our players go to games. So it's a nice community for sure.
Absolutely. So we'll talk one more segment here on the Steve Davis Show coming up after this break.
Off the other way this time. And he breaks out through the hole. It's a touchdown, Monarchs. That was Broden Price on his first touch of the day.
Moorhead slid out wide to Evans' right. Evans looks left to throw. And that one's going to be caught. Brody Cochran from 27 yards out for the score.
Give on the ground, and Nelson has got a lot of space. There goes Nelson for his 12th touchdown of the season. Second of the game. It's a 34-yard scamper. We'll get back to Landeros. Look at him make the first level miss. Landeros off to the races again. See you later, 69 yards on the ground for Alberto Landeros. Has some ball security issues during warm-ups. I was watching warm-ups today. Gallegos going for the home run. He has Smith, and it is caught. Jevin Smith on a touchdown.
Again, drops back to pass. Gonzalez scrambles out, gets out of the pocket, trying to stay behind the line, lobs it back across his body. Oh, great catch. And he's in for the touchdown.
Colorado will kick it away for the Matadors from going 40. Moorhead's going to get a chance at this one. He fields it at the 2. Moorhead on a full head of steam. He's got some speed across the 40. Makes a guy miss. Moorhead on his feet. And Moorhead is going to be in for 6. 98-yard kick return for Jahari Moorhead. Catching the high, snapping, almost picked up. It is the other way. That's Landon Haig. Touchdown Chargers. Landon Haig, so athletic off the back foot. Red.
Out of their pocket. See if the run game. Martin under center. He'll give to Landeros. Landeros has some room. Can he outrun everybody? Yes, sir. Have yourself a night. Landeros is in for the 80-yard Bulldogs touchdown.
Lewis on the final play of the first half. He's going to scramble left. Lewis unloads, and it's caught! Touchdown! Touchdown complete to Carter Strauss to end the half.
And we're back on the Steve Davis Show. I'm Scott Clutty filling in for Steve Davis. One more segment to go as we have Meg Gross, the head women's volleyball coach at New Mexico Highlands University, and Ariana Jamerson. And coming up this week on the RMAC Network, we have a couple of volleyball matches coming up. We start off with Friday. It'll be New Mexico Highlands taking on Western Colorado, 6 o'clock Mountain Time on the RMAC Network. And then Saturday, it will be a rematch as Fort Lewis comes back to town, and that will be a 3 o'clock in the afternoon matchup. And that's one of the unique things this year that you've had, Coach Gross, is the fact that you've got the pods where you're playing teams more than once at home or more than once on the road.
Yeah, the pods are interesting. We added them, I think, in the RMAC a few years ago, and everyone thought our first Fort Lewis one was like towards our RMAC record. I was like, oh no, it's just our pod game, but it was a really
I did too.
Yeah, parents were like, Coach, I think they messed up your record. I was like, oh no, those are our pods. But I think it's nice that we have Fort Lewis at home again. We're definitely fired up to beat them again, and it's nice that this one does count towards our RMAC record.
So we'll go one by one. So you've got Western Colorado. They've been struggling this year. So as you would say, another winnable match. But you can't take anything for granted, especially in a very tough RMAC conference where you have two ranked teams this year.
Yeah, no, we don't take anyone lightly. I think our conversation about Western Colorado will be kind of how it was with Black Hills and Chadron, and we're just like handling our side of the net, and like they're going to throw stuff over the net, but we're not going to play their volleyball. We're going to set our tone. I think the girls, our Fort Lewis match set the standard of like what we're capable of, and we've been holding them to that standard now because they've set it, and we can even break that standard and get better for sure.
So what are the keys, and in particular, what are some of the things that scouting, having played them already, that you need to do to adjust from the last time around, and some of the pieces that you've been moving around to have success this weekend?
Yeah, for Fort Lewis, I think our thought process the last game was keeping them out of system, and like they run a 6-2, so we hit it their setter if we're in trouble, then they can't run their middle. They have a really awesome middle, number 20 on that team. When we played them the first time this year, we couldn't really stop her. So that was our thought process, getting her stopped and then taking them out of system. And then we always focus on tough serves and like winning the serve and pass game. Because when we can do that, Ari and I were just talking it during the break that we're very successful when we can serve and pass.
The one thing that's kind of interesting, Coach, and this is where your team is at right now, is last time after you beat Fort Lewis, Justin Wong, their head coach, very disappointed in the loss. So I know they're going to be kind of circling this match this weekend to come into town to try to beat you guys.
Yeah, and they're a really good team. I think the week after we beat them, they went and swept Mesa at home. So they're a really good team. We're not going to take them lightly. We're going to even be ready to go because they're probably going to be out to kick our butts.
Right. So, Ariana, as a player, what are some of the things that Coach implements and practices that you guys work on to get ready for the week?
Yeah, I think that scout is probably a big one, and when we do that, it's easier. I mean, especially from being on the side of the net, playing against our actual rotation, to implement some of the tendencies of like other teams that we're going to play, so we can prepare to defend those tendencies in practice, which is nice. I think it's honestly more important what you do like individually, and like I know I'll go home and I'll watch film and it'll be us playing them because I don't necessarily know which game you'll pull up for us to do in scout, but like I'll watch our game against them, see what works, see what doesn't, and then I'll be able to implement those things myself in practice. Yeah.
And finally, for both of you, in terms of just the remainder of the season, what's the biggest emphasis? What's the biggest thing that you're focusing on?
Yeah, we wanted to improve and we've done that with our record this year, but we're not done yet. And this group's very like hungry and motivated to show the RMAC that we were picked 14th, but I can guarantee you we won't finish 14th this year in the RMAC. We have a really great group of seniors leading this team, so I think our underclassmen want to finish strong for the seniors, and then the seniors are motivated. They want to go out there and prove everybody wrong. They want to beat teams that like would be an upset for us to beat. So yeah, we just want to keep it rolling and keep improving.
And Ari, it's one of those things where nobody's satisfied with the progress. You just want to keep getting better and better, like Coach said.
Yeah, I think I've known the girls for a year now. A lot of them I've seen play when we were in high school and whatnot, and been able to keep up with a few, but I know what this team is capable of. Our coaches know, we all know. I think it's just a matter of finally being able to display that. But for me, I think this season, like, the biggest thing I'm trying to hone in on is just our team culture. I think that we have the talent, we have all of those things. We have coaches who are going to guide us. So we have all the tools for success. So I think just leaving a lasting impact on the culture of this team so that way it can be carried on, and that's not something we have to worry about rebuilding anymore.
Well, I want to thank both of you for joining us here, and we will definitely talk to you on the weekend. A couple of big matches as you roll down your home schedule, and should be a good crowd. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you. We'll see you Friday night.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's Meg Gross, the head coach, and Ariana Jamerson from the New Mexico Highlands women's volleyball team. That will do it here for the Steve Davis Show. For Aaron Rivera, I'm Scott Coletti filling in for Steve Davis. Hope you enjoy your week, and we will talk to you next time.